The battle for Malta continues as we start this next episode of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 9.11. And of course, this is Gamer 1745 here. And yes, just click on it. There we go. We are battling for Malta. We definitely lost a few air units completely. We had at least one Jaeger unit shatter. This one's about ready to. It's the 14th. Let's take the 14th out of play. No. Okay, that's puts more pressure on these units. But we've taken out 2 of the Malta garrison units, so they're fewer. So if we have to do a re-attack, they won't be as strong. Not going to bring any more air power directly onto Malta to protect the fleets here, sure. Oh, the field commander. Oh, they own. What was that? There's some battle going on here. Oh, down here. Oh, these are the French landings that they talked about. Oh, okay. Okay. That's right. I remember now. Happened. I didn't see. Okay. Yeah. Come down here. Wow, I was so wrapped up in the Malta thing. Do I have a... yes, I do have a Panzer HQ. Already prepared here. Who do we want to give it to? Manfentel, at least temporarily. Okay, there's that. Panzers. There's that. Panzers. See, we are sort of prepared for this. I'm not going to claim any great. Okay, revolverheld. I hope you're still watching some of these. How do I put this? While there's a Mediterranean campaign going on, there just barely is. Malta, Gibraltar. I'm agreeing with the idea of naval invasions of southern Europe. Sicily, Sardinia, very much so. I'm sort of surprised that we're getting a lot of Adriatic invasions because they're just sort of up here. I would think a little bit more Greece, Crete. And the reason... okay, how do I put this? The reason why you attack the islands is, theoretically at least, you have more and more with America coming in and pathetic Italian naval action, very timid at best. You have the ability to come in here and fight a limited amount of troops and use your naval and air power to limit, if not entirely stop. Obviously, the Germans were able to move back and forth across here from Messina and Reggio Calabria. Let's see, I know the geography there. We're able to move there, but it's much slower. You don't have trains rushing down to Messina. You have trains coming down to Reggio Calabria, then coming across here, and then coming down here. So you have a delay coming across, even if there's enough, because this is the naval base for here, and this is the naval days for here, I presume. You know, even if you know, at night, day, whatever, enough fighters to come across it, it's just a delay in shifting units. You're just not going to be able to move them as fast. So naval invasions on islands, including these, are much more likely. But then the Peloponnese, which was actually an AI invasion, it's almost an island. Actually, there's the Corinth Corral, so technically I guess it would be an island. Coming ashore here, these guys are a province out here. This is a province that's attached to the shore. But, you know, so coming in, but even coming in mainland Yugoslavia or Italy, you're facing against the Italians or sort of puppet states. Coming invasions, okay, so yes, so long as there's a campaign won, it's possible, particularly once Gibraltar is gone, even if Malta's still held. Yeah, I know it's maybe complicated to make checks, but if Gibraltar and all of these other places are gone, then naval invasions become impossible in the, you know, greater Mediterranean region. And as I know I talked a long time ago, and I don't know if we will be facing any of those, this is where this, again, this is, I'm critiquing your mod. Please don't take this as a personal attack, because I really do like what you're trying to do here. This conditions whether we can talk about whether if they hold Gibraltar and Malta, and again how easy it is to code, as well as historically when of course they held those two and then held just way back over here at Tobruk, basically is when we have landings into Algiers. And so you know, it's a bit further of a stretch, but hey, when Hitler gets word that there's a massive fleet coming through Gibraltar, he's panicked for a landing in Vichy, France, you know, in the south of France here. So again, so long as there's a Mediterranean campaign, I'm good enough with the idea of various landings here. Again, I do think a few too many, and I don't know timing and whatever, and you know, things need to be worked out for the Adriatic. But especially as the Mediterranean ends, this is the time that I think maybe fairly light, 2-3 divisions kind of thing, maybe a bit heavier, is for landings that they would be making, you know, in other places. Even, you know, they just hold South Africa, they'd be trying to hit, you know, British possessions in Arabia, British possessions along the African coast, or of course coming out of India. So the shift here. Now, again, back to what I know of World War II. This now, how do I put this? Oh, let's give you to a higher command. Yeah, okay, West Wall Army, that will just help. There was obviously the Dieppe raid, and that's what this theoretically could be meant to be, is a Dieppe raid. Some Canadians were involved in the Dieppe raid, and that's maybe all you're thinking of as this is to be, and obviously you don't have easily have ships out here to take them off. And yeah, that's okay. But I would still go with, for any actions along here, including Spain, if once Spain is in the war, though with America and Spain actually in the war, more likely for American maybe invasions in Spain, because again it's not direct. Now of course if Germany conquers Spain, I don't know how you could check for that easily, but because you could puppet the states. But I would delay these types of attacks. I know you're sort of programming somewhat, presuming World War II, but have a check for Germany-Soviet war, or anything outside, you know, on the continent, or direct continent, I guess. Obviously this is part of the continent, but again, this is separated by water. oops, there's a, whether it's at Narvik, at Trondheim, up in some obscure port up here in Malta, an invasion. Oh, we've got to rush panzer divisions to deal with it. Okay, put them on trains, you know. Okay, well, especially if they're late war. First, let's take off the outer wheels of the Tigers, put on special tracks just to drive the Tigers up onto the flat cars, storing the regular wheels, or the rest of the wheels and the rest of the regular tracks. Then zipping your panzer division to, whether it's to Kiel or up where Friedrichshafen, up here. Get them off the train. Maybe, since they're going to go on ships, maybe leave the tracks still on, the transport tracks still on the tanks. Load them onto ships. Send them on ships to here. Maybe some other port, but most likely to here. Put in, since they're still going to be, drive them on the trains again. I'm picturing the Tigers here. Put them on to trains, get them up to here, take them off of the trains, take the tracks off, put on the extra wheels, load on the regular tracks for the vehicles, or the extended width tracks. They did make those for snow and mud, and come up and start fighting here or wherever. So this is rather realistic for distractionary campaigns. I'm totally buying into this as a Soviet Union, Germany at peace distraction campaign event. This, anywhere in France, not so much. Or Belgium, Netherlands, Denmark, even the islands out here in Denmark. It's all just too easy for Germany to react to it. Now, of course, I'm a player who sort of plays realistically, and I'm maintaining a fairly large reserve. And of course, part of this whole thing is to maintain a reserve instead of throwing everything at the Soviets. But that's where we're trying to be sneaky with the players, because most people aren't watching this series. Those who want to can, but is the idea that if you throw everything against, or at least like everything good against Soviet Union, and then oops, incoming invasions, then whether they're meant to be Dieppe type raids, you know, okay, Special Assault Division, that's good, Canadian Light Division, the British Infantry, and a Marine HQ. Okay, that makes sense for a Dieppe type raid. I'm good with that. As a and yes, we can't easily set them up. Maybe you even did, but they may send them somewhere else. The idea of having ships here, so once they lose, they retreat on board ship. But yeah, so that's just my sort of thoughts on that. Okay, well, let's, because these are sort of light forces, let's come down to here just in case. Well, these guys are coming, but how quickly will they get here? Okay, so yes, as you can see, ooh, that's a fairly good unit. Don't know why that's left here, but okay. Come down here. Get moving. And Infantel's least temporary command. Too good to leave in the airsats. Panzer Command. But again, I love the general idea of West Wall Army. That's that too. Of action being taken. Because I'll tell you what, if the US, which was a bit more, the US was theoretically a little more aligned to the idea of opening up a second front earlier than Britain was. Churchill, of course, loved his strategy here. He definitely recognized that the execution of the Dardanelles campaign failed miserably, but loves the soft underbelly of Europe idea. push for this, and the U.S. would be more open to it. But again, and if for some reason, even at peace, they detect too weak of an army here, then they would have attacked. Okay, naval bomber prototypes have advanced. Okay, good, good. Okay, and of course that's grayed out, and we're shifting that to fighters. And we've just got a massive... Ooh, we've just had a huge amount of divisions and other stuff, and I even sort of prepared for that to some degree. Get completed now. Okay, I am going to build even more. I'm going fanatical on this, especially with 100 extra ICs here. I'm building these guys because I'm going to use these guys. Now it's in August. We should be already at war, but won't be that deep into the Soviet Union yet. And part of the reason I'm doing some of this is the manpower situation. Now, saying that, I have a fair amount of light divisions. Okay, let's see. Let's build a... these are fairly small. Being that invasion, thinking about things. Let's do anti-aircraft. There we go. We'll do 2 of these. And let's get rid of the police. Do 2 more. Those are fairly cheap for the manpower. Actually, these are costing a fair amount of manpower. Okay. Now, not cheap for the manpower, but concentrating the manpower. Let's do a armor brigade, a mechanized, man, it's more than a battalion, 4,000 men. Let's go with artillery. This is, if we go with medium artillery, we can look there. I think that'll slow it all the way up to 5. So that's not what we want to do. Do we want to? If we go with regular artillery, we're not really slowing it up much. It's technically some, but not much. And it's not as expensive as doing self-propelled artillery. Yeah, we can throw in armored cars. It's a bit more expensive, but they're damn useful. We want to do, if we go regular engineers, that blows it way up. So we go with that, keep the speed up. Since we are going in after Russia, yeah. Need the headquarters. There we go. We do heavy anti-aircraft again. Let's close it up a little bit, but I don't know that we need the penetration. How it is. That doesn't slow it up at all. Okay. A little just more direct fire type. Multiplicity of things. But before we start that, production wise, what do we have up here for? Okay, elite veteran. Just a little bit. Okay. I didn't know if we wanted to use a regular division or try if we had a bunch of those other ones, but we just do that. Okay, so that will take a fairly big chunk out. We'll do 2 of those. Let's really sort of see about smashing it now. Let's see if we cut this out. get rid of that. Let's go down here, grab proper German trucks. And then let's see if we go with a Stug. Well, we are not quite 10, but lower on 10,000 men. That's pretty good for a division. Now if we do that, 15,000. That's about the same. Okay, 82 and 33. 82 and 33. Let's rebuild the previous division. We're about the same cost. And what was the trucks? Not that that really affects this. 82 and 33. So it was 82 and 33. So here we have 61. So not as much soft kill. 46 more hard kill. Better for taking out the tanks. So it was 82 and 33. So yeah, that's worth it. No, whatever. So we're going to go with that and Stugs. There's Stugs. So much better infantry killing, still reasonably good. Armor killing, piercing, that varies. We will be getting, we haven't already improved. Piercing 24 versus where's our current armor. Piercing 24 or 39, so that's better piercing, but we'll build a couple of these. So you can see here, these are they're meant to complement each other. Obviously they're within 1.2 of IC of production each other, and this is actually slightly more expensive, but these are sort of supreme infantry killing of the supreme, but very sort of targeted for infantry, and should do pretty well against taking cities and such because of their heavy mechanized infantry element, and the Stugs, because Stugs have better fort type attack, and these are better for taking out the enemy armor and piercing deep. So they both have their roles, and why. Part of what I do is emotional when I'm playing this game. You know, there is absolutely something to be said for competitive playing. Either who can beat the AI faster, you know, how many turns does it take you to defeat the Soviet Union starting in June 41? You know, or not turns, because obviously we don't have turns here, but you know, how many days does it take to defeat the Soviet Union? And then we can, you know, people can do a simple sort of thing like this, and we can record who does faster. Or you could, of course, play, you know, multiplayer, and who wins better. And those are very legitimate things to compare and contrast with. But for me, this is more of an emotional interest sort of situation as that kind of thing. So I'm looking at what is more fun to play. Because I'm, even with all this stuff, and I think it's going to be much more of a challenge this game, I still think I'm going to beat the Soviet Union. It's just, it's going to be how interesting is that kind of thing. And so the historical loadout and divisions are something that interests me. Okay, you guys. Yeah. Okay, you guys come here. And you guys come here. their escorts once they get in, because I don't know if we're going to decide to send in some of these divisions to follow on, either as replacements if they start breaking up too badly. We've almost broken that division. Malta Garrison as opposed to the Malta Reserve. One battle out here. Okay, they're going to go in and occupy it. But... so I want to build sort of historical types of divisions. And okay, so we've gotten rid of the Malta Garrison. We just have the Malta Reserve left. Flying boat prototypes have improved. Great. We'll move that over to single engine. Again, people often ask why, and that's sort of why people watch. Why I focus more here because than here so much. I push a little further ahead because once we get one of these two types in, it unlocks these. But and I should also be doing the engine types too. But this is more important because these fighters compete against other fighters. So how good your fighters are in winning the fighter-to-fighter battle matters how they are compared to other things. Where how well your light bombers do, well, the Soviet light bombers are twice as good as mine. It doesn't affect how effective my light bombers are, if you understand. So if they're slightly out of date or not as pushed forward as advanced as the fighters are, I'm not going to be losing them because the Soviet fighters are better. But I will be losing my bombers due to Soviet fighters if my fighters aren't good enough at that moment compared to the Soviets or the Americans or whoever it might be. That's doing well. Okay, so lots of stuff here. They're here. Monumental architecture is advanced. Great. I think we do need to stop that. Yes. And broadcasting advanced. I think we also need to stop that. Yes. And seeing all that, I want to see if I can sell more supplies because we need more money. Trust me, we need more money. Don't want to do it in too big of a batch because I'm afraid that they'll cancel. Good now, okay, artillery flexibility. That is good. Oh, that's down here. Too far advancing. Yes, we need to stop that. Well, just it's slowing down those units. Not by much, but it's slowing them down. We don't want to do superior strength. We don't want to see here again. And I know there's been a little bit of confusion. Superior strength is here is increases. Oh, this is actually reducing it. Sorry. Here is increasing the strength. But what that does is if we unlocked it, and like this is comes unlocked. So if we wanted to do that, because it's SS, and I presume the guards are unlocked for the Soviets. But if we wanted to do this, what we do is we're just costing more, basically more manpower for these units. So if I want to have fewer but stronger infantry divisions, then you will increase the manpower. Now, if we want to have more because of a big front, shall we say, you know, the big Soviet front, we want to have more divisions, but our divisions are so, you know, up there on technologies and tactics and, you know, doctrines compared to the Soviets. So we want smaller manpower, but more of them because of all these other things that are making them overwhelming. That's the way to deal with it. I'm just, I guess, not choosing to go down this road and decreasing the strength of the units, you know, the manpower to the units to do this. But keep this in mind. So if you want to do that, oh well, we could do this here. These will go fast. And so that just so that's what this superior strength is. It doesn't actually do anything other than unlocking, and I presume in stages and levels of unlocking this or something. I don't know. I just haven't done it. Haven't felt I needed to. Okay, we've got obviously lots of 42 to do. Well, since we're still fighting in the desert, and start research, and we have airborne units. Airborne units are critical when they win or lose. More important to have them, like if we dropped on Malta, and we don't want them to lose and be destroyed. Lots of good stuff there. Yeah, let's go with this. We have a little bit left to give there. Artillery flexibility, aviation navigational radar. Is that here? No, that is here. Okay, so we pushed far enough ahead on those. Well, let's increase our radar for light units. Auxiliary fuel tanks. Okay, I think we've, unless it's multiple levels. Nope, that is one and done. So we've increased our range for our landing craft, which we have. Assault transports, assault ships we haven't unlocked yet. And which is here, of course, so we get that enough. And twin engines, I guess we've already reapportioned that. So they will be faster once they get upgraded, or later production, or whatever it may be. Okay, so the union accepted. Good. One good benefit with this is their fuel is going to be sent down here faster. For these guys coming. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We have one guy that's out. Okay, hopefully I haven't lost any brigades. That's sort of what I'm worried about. Oh, they're coming. You guys come over here. Supposed to be having maximum effort with our make sure you're just intercepting right over there. Now fly air superior right over there. Be up there all the time you can, not just when you spot. I normally use the air intercept because it uses less fuel. Oh, come on. There we are. And we'll do air superiority. Just make sure that we have air up all the time over here. Oh, see, we're losing a lot of ships from some sort of battle here. We haven't lost the Tirpitz yet. Good thing I've reduced down. Oh, we've won up. Oh, it's here. Okay. Oh, that retreating unit came into there. Don't want to lose any more. Okay, landing craft. Was originally going to put on more units on you, but as soon as you're up here, we're going to attach you and we're going to dash in there and support that. Okay, armor plating. That landing craft, good. Well, that'll protect landing craft a little bit better. Let's go back up here and look around for things. We'll do armored car designs improved. here. Ah. There we go. Now just get out here and support this attack with more landing craft support in case. Okay, we still have. We've lost another. They're coming to support it. Major victory. We've won at Malta. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Malta falls. Oh, that's sort of why we were having our troubles. Okay. Dash for here. Rebase. Rebase. Dash for there. Because they're already ashore, so you guys dash for here. Rebase before they come out. But keep all the rest of the guys, the air power, naval striking. Dash for base. Okay, amphibious light armor has advanced. Very good. We are definitely building some of that. And we'll let that continue. See, marsh attack. That's part of what I'm using that for. I'm going to attach some of those units to go after some of those, the Pripyat marshes and other places in the Soviet Union up in the north. And so they'll do that well as just simply be better. Because I hate those marshes and I want to. Okay, oh good. They made it without losing the Tirpitz. Tirpitz is badly damaged. Auxiliary vessels, well I don't even know that I'm going to build any more of those. We still can. Oh, I guess we can't. Those still are coming via event, but we can build more landing craft to replace them fairly cheaply. And we'll do that right now. Replace those lost transports with some proper landing craft. Gotta do that and that. So now we've got Malta. And a major defeat. Where do we... Oh, the Battle of Bayonne down here. We've lost this province. Okay, they're going to hold there for the moment at least. Okay, we got Canadians and British here now. They're going to hold back there. While these guys... Okay, yeah, might as well definitely help out a little bit. Still don't know why they have armored cars. Cool. Well, they got light vehicles too, but no, we can send these guys down as well. They may start reinforcing that. There's their big fleet. Like 3 carriers, light cruiser, 7 submarines. Wow. No wonder we were losing some transport. Yeah. Oh, those are coastal battleships, sorry. Those are, I think, Dutch coastal battleships. But man, that image to me looks like a carrier silhouette. Okay. Well, we've taken out Malta as a threat to us. And we have more technology. Don't know what just came up. Heavy artillery emplacements has finished. Okay. Okay, 1 and done. Good. There we go. We'll do armored fighting vehicle AA weapons. Basically sticking machine guns on top of armored fighting vehicles. Or a little better. So they were level 6 coastal fort. How interesting. So we've got Malta. Malta has fallen. Gotta make that for the event image for this event. Now they're gonna, oh, we need to create a supply convoy, Rekia or whatever, to Malta. And mentioning that, let's increase our those. Partially what I'm doing this is yeah, 65 is okay. Start production. But I am looking at continuing to supply things out of here through into landings in here for a while, and maybe facing, you know, Soviet. But then I'm still looking at Indian Ocean type expansions and possible British attacks, and they don't take manpower, so I'm not digging into the manpower more. And so it's doing something useful is also why I am building all of these radar stations, some internally in Germany somewhat, others out like Bergen along the coast, and a bunch, oh, we've got some done, and I want to add more to them here. Some to get like a better look into Britain. They've really nerfed down the ranges on these things, and this is probably like a level 10 to try to get Britain better looks, but keep us from easily having deep looks into Britain, but trying to get some sort of a look in to have an idea of what's going on there. And have better radar impact, because radar will see stuff out at sea like a submarines and other ships, so that they are useful in that sense. Well, we might as well start building radar out here too. We can. That will get us. Well, they've already taken the British base here, so once we take this, there won't be any more British. We've won here. We've enforced conquer on Oman. You guys get to come up here just to take that. They're coming around this way. Take these oil fields up here. Maybe not a lot, but some. It'll be useful. Okay, well, on this great victorious note of taking out Malta with only limited, okay, we don't need to continue doing air superiority over here. We can also head back. We want to now start, because there's going to be less and less air operations here, because there's going to be no air base or no naval bases for them to, you know, ship to or out of. So there's going to be no reason to waste the gas. Well, at least briefly, we'll, as these guys retreat out. Naval activity will reduce down. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, well, they're still neutral, I guess, aren't they? Diplomacy, species, and access. Yes, so these are sort of trapped units here, is what these are. I was thinking there might be, like, them here. Okay, you guys start marching to here. You guys start marching to there. So will you. I am liking it. Now, if you don't want to have the naval invasions, revolverheld has very much gotten on the board with the component ideas. So you can, when you're installing his mod, not select the component for scripted invasions. So if you don't like the idea of these, again, I've given my detailed criticisms. Those are purely to help him know my thoughts. He can completely disagree and do what he wants and be as, I would say, mostly as right as I am. Some of the stuff I was looking at logistical problems, but so you know, you can choose that or not. And he has really great mods. So if you just want to stick with the historical stuff, choose those components. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. I really do appreciate that. And of course, please post questions, comments, suggestions, ideas. Love hearing from you. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.